Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Welcome to my second twin flame reading. I don't know why I'm being so dramatic. So far, I've been just embodying whoever this reading is about. I keep getting flashes in my mind of a client of mine. Maybe she's watching this video, but I feel like hopefully this reading will be a little more geared towards the feminine, but of course I'm not gonna force anything because the previous video was more masculine. It was about the masculine in the twin flame connection. But you know, watch whatever one you want to watch first. I just saw 44. Hopefully this time I can speak. That was Kitty. I changed the book, so now we have the House of Earth and Blood. So I do feel like this is going to be more feminine because I don't know, I just thought of the womb, like the menstrual cycle of the feminine, and then I changed this to the Taylor Swift Red album. So I don't know, there's this emphasis already on like blood and like the womb, and I don't know, I just feel like the feminine, especially the female, you know, feminines who consider themselves to be female, have been through a lot. Today I saw a truck and it said Salem on there, and I was like, oh, the witches. Yeah. Excuse me. And I was thinking like, nobody really knows. If like the people who were there during the witch trials didn't even know what was actually going on, and like I feel like people still don't know to this day. Like, it's just a lot of speculation. And so I feel like this is relevant to this reading where like people make a lot of assumptions about the divine feminine, but nobody actually knows who she is. It's a lot of speculation. It's a lot of demonization, and it's a lot of hurt. Because I just feel like there's like just so much pain with the womb. Maybe I'm just talking about me. I've always had really terrible menstrual cycles. Just naturally, it's something that's passed down in my family to the women, and it's like we just go through like unnecessary fucking pain. It's just terrible. You know what's interesting is that my sister actually doesn't. She's like usually fine. So it's just certain people, and I feel like it's always like, I don't know, people who have more like witchy like powers and tendencies. Like there's been this like curse. And what I want to say about that is like, it's not necessarily a curse, it's a projection. You know that thing about like, if you take 2 jars of rice and to one you keep saying, I hate you, you're the devil, you're terrible, you're ugly, you're hideous. And you say to the other one, I love you, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're healthy, you're brave, you're courageous. Like the one that you say the negative stuff to will kind of decay. And the one that you said the beautiful stuff to will remain like the white rice. And so it's like, it's not so much, although, you know, some people might disagree, like a curse on the feminine, but it's this projection of just all this hate on the feminine because she is unknown. And it's actually making me want to get this book that I have that I never finished reading, The Scarlet Letter. I have it somewhere. Let me see. Did I keep it in here or did I move it? I'll be right back. I'm going to go get it. Because I feel like it's important. I'll be back. I did not find it. Shades of gray. Lord, this is gonna get on my nerves. Where is it? I found it. This is what happens when you got a lot of books. Thankfully. Found it. We're gonna get some quotes from here, maybe from both. But that's what I'm feeling. For the people, I don't know if you're wondering why I'm not able to edit, is because I can no longer afford the subscription to the editing software that I use. If you would like for me to be able to edit and stuff easily, you're welcome to donate. I think it's about $40 for me to be able to get that subscription. But until then, this is what you got. So be grateful. But it's like the feminine is unknown. And so people are like scared of her. And I feel like everybody has feminine within them. We have both. We have all within us, you know, it's everything. And people have just become so disconnected from their feminine. Like, that's what it is. And so people are like, what's it called? What's Taylor Swift was like, they're hunting all the witches even if you aren't one. Like, you become a witch because they speculate that you are a witch, which I feel like if anybody knows anything about the Salem witch trials, they know that. So, wow. That was quite an introduction. Look at that. I just split the deck. Justice and the Queen of Wands. So yes, this twin flame reading is going to be more geared to the divine feminine. So the divine feminine, let's adjust the camera. Just so you know, there's a kitty that likes to duck in and duck out. So if you hear like a little Tinkerbell and see like a flash of orange, that's what it is. He dipped out when I went to look for the scarlet letter, even though it was already in my room. So the divine feminine is experiencing a rebirth of sorts into an experience. I don't even want to say a world, because reality is what we make it. So you get to experience what you believe. And so, what's this one? Hello, baby. Look at that. King and Queen. Anyways, the divine feminine in the twin flame collective that I'm channeling for is about to experience, and therefore is experiencing, a reality where her creations, look at that, you can't make this stuff up, where her I shuffled the deck before we started, by the way, and I saw the Lover's card, and I also saw the Six of Wands. Just want to say that. Anyways, she is experiencing, I'm saying she, and in terms of the feminine energy, not according to gender, is experiencing a world where her creations are respected, where she is safe to create and not feel judged and be endangered, you know, by what she has to offer. I feel like, you know, people who live in a very distorted reality, you know, separated from the divine feminine, they could see a person giving birth and think that it was the devil. You know, if that's the kind of mentality 808 that they're experiencing, if they have so much fear and disconnection from their feminine and even their divine masculine self, they will see a person giving birth and be like, that is witchcraft. And so let me go kill them because they're bringing in the Antichrist. You know what I mean? And so it's in that way where the divine feminine has been in danger. There's a song by Zilla Day, and she's like, my love is in danger. It's so hard to find. It's called Bunny. And rabbits, bunnies have to do with fertility. And the Blooming Woman, that channel on YouTube, she's actually releasing a video on October 26th about the sacredness of the rabbit. So I don't know, that's something. Listen to that song Bunny by Zilla Day. But it's like, because the divine feminine has been in danger for so long, she's been endangered, because the more and more that people are projecting out these toxic feminines, these distorted feminines, these, oh, you're a witch, you know, you're this demonic being. The more that you do that, the more that the divine feminine, here he comes, she retreats, you know, she retreats. And it's like those very traumatic moments that people experience where they kind of like step outside of their body, then they leave the body. And so it's like she's been in danger, And so she's in danger, and you can't really find the divine feminine anymore. So that's over, basically. And what's happened now is the divine feminine is returned. She's given divine justice. She's given physical fucking support from the divine masculine in a physical, material way, showing up for her. And so she's free to be. I made this post with the Amber Light, and it was a channel message that I'd gotten through the lens of like the Noah and Allie story, where like Allie, she was finally free to paint. She just wanted to paint naked on a rooftop. And she didn't do that for years when she was separated from her divine masculine. And finally, when she returned, when he built a physical house, a physical home, look at this, Page of Pentacles. When he built a physical home for her to be in, she got up on that balcony and she painted naked, you know, free from people trying to harm her, 11:11 on the clock, free from people judging her, wanting her to look and be and talk and speak and act a certain way. She got to be free. This is what's happening right now. This is here now. Claim this, and I greatly encourage you to speak in terms of like, this is here. This is happening. This is reality, because it is. That whole like waiting and like talking about things, you know, in the quote unquote future, I feel like that's a part of like the distorted feminine. I don't know if you heard that click. I don't know what that is. Kitty is back. Okay. Anyways, I just saw this bird. Like this idea of like, she can't be free until, you know, I don't know, you know, just think about like all these little assignments to women in society, like, oh, she can't have sex until she's this age. And then when she has sex, she can't have sex until she has a boyfriend or until she's married to a husband. There was one of my favorite shows is called F is for Family, and I love it because it's just such a beautiful critique and comedy about America. And in one of the episodes, Sue, she goes to the hospital because she got in a car accident. And she was put into this room with other women, and she was like, why am I in this room? And they were like, oh, you can't leave until a male comes and picks you up. So it's like this feeling of like, that's what I mean by like delay. Like this idea of like something, you have to wait on something. I feel like the divine feminine does not wait. She creates. She is the creation. She's the creator. Does that make sense? I feel like there's been like this distortion, like divine passivity or passiveness is ultimately sacred action from a higher consciousness level, from a higher vibration. Like I say all the time, like recently I've just been so tired. When I'm laying down, when I'm so tired, I cannot even open my eyes for no reason. I'm doing a lot. I'm gone. I'm literally like gone and doing a whole bunch of stuff in my light body, you know, different places, different dimensions. I'm doing a lot of work. And so like, I feel like this idea of like the divine feminine being passive, and she needs to wait, and she needs to be patient, and she can't go yet until the man picks her up from the hospital, is a part of this divine distorted divine feminine blueprint. And I feel like she has a lot of fun things she wants to say, but she hasn't. Again, this is not referring to gender. She has a lot of fun things she wants to say, but she hasn't been able to say them because she's had to be so fucking serious all the time because she's been in danger. And this is something that used to come up a lot in my twin flame connection, you know, and I feel like a lot of people will be able to relate to this. If you can't, just twist it to however you prefer. But I used to be so annoyed because I just wanted to relax, and my divine masculine would always come in, and I feel like this could be to a lot of scenarios, would come in and like make up stuff to make it be this hard, difficult connection. And so I feel like this happens a lot. Like, for example, like in careers where the divine feminine is trying to pursue this, I don't know, music career. I've been seeing a lot about Britney Spears. And it's like she just wants to make music. But in comes this political parade to like tear her down and like destroy her. And like, you know, she can't just sit and make music. You know what I mean? She can't just sing. All these things kind of control her because they don't understand her, because the divine feminine is unknown. But that is a sacred way of the womb. The womb is a deep black space. You know what I mean? You don't get to see. The only way to know and to understand is by feeling. 1616. And so now is the time for her to create. And look at this. Look at that. She's already done the hard work. And I feel like the divine feminine, she likes to work on things. You know what I mean? Anyways, this is what's coming in now. It's two divine masculine, divine feminine showing up together to ground the higher and the lower, to merge them and create a big, beautiful celebration. Divine justice is here. Excuse me. So we're gonna get some messages. What does the divine feminine want to say? Let's just shuffle. Okay. No. Yes. No. What does the divine feminine want to say? That went away. Fur. I can't talk. Okay. We'll get these, all of them. Okay. Treats pick up games like professional sport. I don't know. I just heard like trick or treat and like made her professional sport. I feel like the divine feminine is saying with this card is like it's her time to pick for herself. And she sees through the trickery and the gaslighting. Like, you can't give me no more. We'll alphabetize, spice rack in free time. So yeah, the divine feminine is reorganizing. 6-6. I just feel like there's been so much gaslighting, like people telling her that she's treating the pickup game like a professional sport. Like she was taking stuff too seriously, but what she was focusing on was supposed to be taken very seriously. It was the other people who weren't able to understand the value of what she was talking about. And so now she has free time and she's gonna rearrange even the alphabet to its true. She's here to return truth through her creation of it. Always wants to play stupid card games. I don't know, I feel like it's some sort of insult with this one. Please clarify this one, please. Giggles at everything. Can't help but speak without thinking. So I feel like here, there's like, what I really like about the movie Legally Blonde is like there's this idea that when women become feminists, they have to stop giggling. They can't wear pink. They can't like to go shopping. You know, all these crazy things. And it's like, yes, I can. Like, it feels like I can be whoever I want to be. And however I am is being the divine feminine because that's who I am. I'm embodying that consciousness. I'm sorry if I'm speaking too loud. Okay. sits at a stop sign waiting for it to turn green. Yes, this is what I was talking about, that waiting energy, no more. You know, I've talked about, you know, things that have been done to the divine feminine, but I also want to say, like, the divine feminine has allowed this to go on as well. It's been both, you know what I mean? And so she is no longer waiting. She's taking her power back and standing up fully for herself. Because with this, like, we'll do anything for $5. I feel like the price was really low. Like, she lowered her price because people gaslit her. She's been gaslit for forever. And so she finally was like, you know what? I will lower my price just to have friends. I feel like this is something that's very important. It's like, either I'm completely alone or I lower my standards a little bit just to have somebody. And she's like, that's what allows the toxic masculine to thrive. That allowance of that. Would trample a kid on a Black Friday. So I feel like this is divine feminine. I keep saying 11, 111 on the clock, 21, 11. This is the divine feminine taking back her power. And I feel like just trampling over people, like, get out of the way. Like, I want, like, really saying what she wants and going for it and not worried about, because there's this thing where, like, women are expected, or, you know, the divine feminine people are expected to be more sympathetic towards children. It's like that people use that as like a guilt trip, and she's not falling for it no more. It's up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. I feel like this is saying if she's up at a 7 a.m. is because she wants to be. I just feel like the divine feminine is unpredictable. She's returning to the space of being unpredictable, being wild, being untamable, being unstoppable, because that's her truth. That's who she's supposed to be. Let's see. Let's get some messages from these oracle cards. Let's scoot these bad babies out of the way. Oh yeah, we'll do that. What does the divine feminine want to tell the divine masculine? Like this one. Oh, you don't want to go back in. Ooh, get out the way. Okay. And yang. All right, let's get back together. So yeah, the divine feminine desires union. She wants to be unified with the divine masculine and be sweet and kissy and touchy and just, you know, unite. That's what she wants. Bring it on. Like, come on. Patience. She wants to tell the divine masculine, I feel like patience is a sacred space that you go to during a gestation period rather than the frequency of waiting. So I feel like waiting, there's this kind of like implying of fear, but patience, you know what I mean? It's like a different frequency. It's being wise, and it's action of stillness rather than impassively waiting. I'm gonna close the door. There's been quite a few pauses. Now he's gonna want to get out. Go ahead, kitty. Give me a second. Go ahead. He's like, girl, you can't lock me in here. But somebody just came in. So I feel like, I don't know, that's a message as well. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the divine masculine might be waiting on like signs over and over and over. Give me signs, give me signs, give me signs that it's okay to like come approach the divine feminine. And divine feminine is telling the divine masculine, don't wait, but be patient. I don't know if that makes sense. I need to getting up too fast while channeling these messages. I'm like, whoa, whoa. Yeah, look at that. 8 of Swords. Yeah, don't wait. Go higher or go within. You know, these want to come together. Oh, look, 2 angels. So cute. So look how these are both the colors of flames, blue flames and orange flames. 2 angels. Egypt, we know, has a lot of connections, or Kemet, a lot of connections to the twin flames. So the message from the divine feminine to the divine masculine is to have faith in themselves and be really present with themselves and have the strength that it takes to persevere and to follow through on what their soul is leading and guiding them to do. It may sound scary, and this is for the divine masculine within all of us, and same thing with the divine feminine that I've been speaking on this whole time. But it's like, I know that it might look scary and unreasonable what you are being asked, called, and guided to do, but you have within you the strength to fulfill the destiny that you have been called to fulfill. You have with you the tools that it takes to rise to the occasion, because you know you made the occasion. Be fierce. Bring out that lion heart. Some of you might have connections to Leo, and again, Kemet. But like I said, like, have patience with yourself. Like, know when it's time for you to rest and when it's time for you to move. Don't be so harsh on yourself. Be well balanced within yourself. Okay? And I don't know. Yeah, we'll just get a message from the book, and then we'll finish it off with some messages cards. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment if this has been resonating with you. If they haven't been resonating, don't leave a comment. But make sure you go and watch my other video. Ooh, that one made it like a crack. Jesheba, and I'm sorry if I'm like mispronouncing this name. Jesheba did most of the art acquisitions, which was why she was all away so often. But Bryce herself had tracked down and purchased a good number of the pieces, and then resold them at a steep profit. I just heard something from my divine masculine. Sorry. The couple had reached a set of fertility statues from Setmic when the front door buzzed. Bryce glanced towards the clock on her desk. The afternoon client appointment wasn't for another 3 hours. To have multiple browsers in the galleries was an oddity, given the notoriously steep price tags of the art in here. But maybe she'd get lucky and sell something today. "Excuse me," Bryce murmured, ducking around the massive desk and pulling up the outside camera feed on the computer. She'd barely clicked the icon when the buzzer rang again. So definitely go watch the other twin flame reading that I'm posting with this one, because both of the books mention the number 3. But what I'm getting with this message is, like I was saying, like the price is upped. The price is steep for the divine feminine, and yet there are 3 people in there still, you know, looking around, wanting to purchase. And so I feel like this is a message from Spirit for the divine feminine of like, don't be scared to raise your price. Don't be scared to raise your standards. Don't be scared to leave people and situations behind that are not, excuse me, very powerful, not for your highest good, because you think people won't pay for that. You think people won't show up for that. You know, you think that nobody will meet your standards, but they will. And not only that, you'll be blessed with more than you even asked for. and then we'll get Scarlet Letter, and we're gonna get messages cards at the end, so stay tuned. I heard the top. Thou shalt forgive me, cried Hester, flinging herself on the fallen leaves beside him. Let God punish, thou shalt forgive. With sudden and desperate tenderness, she threw her arms around him and pressed his head against her bosom. Little caring Little caring though his cheek rested on the Scarlet Letter, he would have released himself, but strove in vain to do so. Hester would not set him free, lest he should look her sternly in the face. All the world had frowned on her. For 7 long years had it frowned upon this lonely woman, and she still bore it all, nor ever once turned away her firm, sad eyes. Heaven likewise had frowned upon her, and she had not died, but the frown on this pale, weak, sinful, and sorrow-stricken man was what Hester could not bear and live. Wilt thou forgive me, she repeated over and over again. Wilt thou not frown? Wilt thou forgive? I do forgive you, Hester, replied the minister at length, with a deep utterance of an abyss of sadness, but no anger. I freely forgive you now. May God forgive us both. We are not, Hester, the worst sinners in the world. There is one worse than even the polluted priest. That old man's revenge has been blacker than my sin. He has violated in cold blood the sanctity of a human heart. Thou and I, Hester, never did so. So I feel like the Divine Feminine has been, asking for, like I said before, acceptance from the Divine Masculine. And the Divine Masculine is saying, I accept you. Now will you free yourself? That's what I'm picking up. It's like the Divine Masculine, as a separate person, quote unquote, cannot see the Divine Feminine and accept the Divine Feminine fully and freely unless the Divine Masculine within the Divine Feminine accepts herself or themselves freely. I feel like either way and overall, this message from Spirit is saying, we're both forgiving each other. The twin flames, the DM, the DF are both forgiving each other and coming back into union and realizing how they've been manipulated and played by outside forces, which are, basically inside forces. Ooh. So yes, leave a comment. Check the description for information on how to get a personal reading, because I do those. Why was that upside down? I don't know. What does the Divine Feminine want to say? What does she want to say? And share this video, and feel free to donate if you would like to support me. So yeah, I feel like the Divine Feminine, she's been clearing a lot of wounds of mother and father, people who haven't accepted her, and she's accepting herself now. Go watch The Notebook. I don't know, maybe you don't want to cry, but there's a lot of wounds on Allie's part from her parents, and she rejected her own twin flame connection because her parents didn't support it. You disappointed me. You broke my heart in two. This is her talking. This is Divine Feminine, or maybe you talking to the Divine Masculine. Yeah, cracked it. I have always loved only you. The Divine Feminine has always been extremely loyal to the Divine Masculine. I pretended to be a pretender, but my heart beats for you. For a long time, the Divine Feminine, like I said, has had to be very tough, has had to put on a, pretty face and keep going, even though they've been hurt, beaten down. And I feel like had to go on and pretend to be satiated by other people who weren't the Divine Masculine. Please don't leave me. The Divine Feminine has been afraid, obviously. like I said, because the divine masculine is the only person who fits, who gets her. So she's been terrified of that. You give me strength too. A lot of mention of strength. A lot of Leo, that, what's it called? The Pharaoh, the Sphinx. Like a lot of mention of that with Kemet. So I don't know, maybe look into that if you feel called. But the divine masculine, you give her strength too. Like she needs you, and you have shown up. I declare that now. Yeah, she needs you to speak. I feel so lonely. I'm sorry I can't talk. A lot of loneliness. And then the last one, dance, but there's nobody there. The divine feminine, I feel like, is a bit timid as well, to really put her trust in the divine masculine, to really show her full vulnerable self. Because like I said, she has been in danger, and so she became endangered. But she's ready now, I feel. My wounds are not easy to heal. A lot of like animal references, but I feel like I should pull this one. Appreciation. Divine feminine wants to be appreciated, and therefore she is appreciating herself. She's creating freely. She's creating from a space of vulnerability and authenticity, speaking her truth, being in her truth, and remaining heart-centered despite the frigidness of the world. So this has been your reading. Thank you so much for watching. May you be blessed, and I'll see you next time.